Welcome. Today we are cracking open the script to one of the most epic scenes in the entire Bible, and I'm talking about a logistical masterpiece. Forget Hollywood special effects. This is the divine blueprint for organizing a whole nation into a massive moving city. This is Numbers chapter 2.
So think about the challenge here. You've got literally millions of people, an entire nation, on the move in the middle of a vast empty desert. How on earth do you stop that from becoming absolute chaos? How do you create order and security and a real sense of unity? Well, Numbers 2 doesn't just give us an answer, it gives us a divinely engineered masterpiece.
The whole plan kicks off with a direct command. In verse 1, God speaks directly to Moses and Aaron. Then verse 2 lays out the core principle. Every single person shall camp by their own standard, a certain distance away from the tabernacle. Just picture it. It's like a divine architect unrolling a massive blueprint over the desert sand, assigning a specific, honored place for every family, all revolving around the sacred tabernacle, right there in the center. This is about way more than just where you pitch your tent. It's about your place in the story.
All right, our tour begins in the east. This was the most prestigious position, facing the dawn. This is the vanguard, the tip of the spear, the very first division to see the rising sun.
So let's build this eastern flank, piece by piece, verse by verse. Verse 3 places the tribe of Judah right at the head, under their leader, Nahshon. Imagine their standard, a roaring lion, powerful and royal, just catching the first light of day. Then verse 4 gives us their jaw-dropping number, 74,600 soldiers. Wow. Now verse 5 brings in the tribe of Issachar, camping right beside them, led by Nathaniel. Their emblem? A sturdy donkey, a symbol of hard work and strength. And verse 6 tells us they're adding another 54,400 to the line. And finally, verse 7 introduces Zebulun, led by Eliab. Picture their banner, a ship, representing their destiny as traders and travelers. Verse 8 adds their force, 57,400 strong.
And what's so great about seeing it like this is you can immediately feel the power dynamic. That bar for Judah isn't just a number. It represents their role as the powerful anchor of this entire eastern flank. And then verse 9 wraps it all up, giving us the staggering grand total for just this one side of the camp, 186,400 fighting men. But it adds a crucial order. These shall break camp first. When the nation moves, this powerhouse leads the way.
Okay, now let's swing our view around, sweeping south to see the second massive division that falls into place, on the right hand of the tabernacle.
Again, the blueprint is just so precise. Verse 10 establishes the southern standard under the tribe of Reuben, led by Eliezer. And then verse 11 counts their forces at 46,500. Right next to them, verse 12 positions the tribe of Simeon under Shelomiel. Verse 13 adds their 59,300 soldiers to the ranks. And rounding out this division in verse 14 is the tribe of Gad, commanded by Eliasaph, with verse 15 giving their very specific number, 45,650. Every leader, every banner, is just another piece in this immense human mosaic.
And this chart illustrates the composition perfectly. You can see how Simeon, the largest tribe here, really forms a strong core for this second wave of the camp. Verse 16 gives us the total for the south, 151,450, a truly formidable force. And their marching order is just as clear. They shall be the second to break camp. The precision here is just unwavering. Okay, now we come to the most important part of the entire formation. Verse 17 is the key. It says the tabernacle, the physical dwelling place of God, moves in the middle of the camps. So let's zoom out. Picture it. You have these four colossal armies, and right in the protected, glowing center, the camp of the Levites guards the holy tabernacle. It is the literal and the spiritual heart of the nation, the axle around which everything turns. All right, continuing our 360-degree tour, we now pan to the west. And here we find another powerful flank guarding that holy center, made up of the descendants of Joseph. Let's follow the pattern. Verse 18 places the standard of Ephraim here, led by Elishama. Their banner features a powerful bull. Then verse 19 counts their army at 40,500. Right next to them, verse 20 positions the tribe of Manasseh under Gamaliel, with verse 21 giving their number, 32,200. And finally, verse 22 introduces Benjamin, led by Abidin, whose army is tallied in verse 23 at 35,400.
This chart gives us a really clear snapshot of the Western forces. And you can see that while each tribe is individually a bit smaller than some of the others we've seen, together they form a significant and really unified block.
Verse 24 sums it all up, a total of 108,100 men. And their place in the Great March? They shall be the third to break camp. The sequence just continues, perfectly ordered.
Our tour completes its circle now on the north side. But listen, this isn't the weakest link. This is the crucial rear guard, the final shield that protects the entire nation from behind as it moves.
So let's look at this final assembly. Verse 25 assigns the north to the standard of Dan, led by Ahiezer. Their banner shows a serpent, a symbol of cunning and protection. Verse 26 then gives their number, a powerful 62,700. Camping next to them, according to verse 27, is Asher, led by Pagiel, with their forces numbered at 41,500 in verse 28. The final tribe of the entire formation in verse 29 is Naphtali, under Ahira, whose army in verse 30 is 53,400 strong. Now, take a good look at this chart. That bar for Dan is significant. They are the second largest single tribe in the entire nation, right after Judah. This means the rear guard isn't some afterthought. It is an incredibly strong defensive unit.
Verse 31 gives us the northern grand total, 157,600. And their role is crystal clear. They shall break camp last, with their standards. They are the final piece of the puzzle, securing the entire column as it moves.
Okay, now it's time to pull the camera all the way back. Let's get that big drone shot to see the breathtaking, absolutely awe-inspiring scale of this entire assembled nation. And there it is. Verse 32 gives us the final count of all the armies of Israel. 603,550. This isn't just a camp. It's a massive, mobile military city, organized with nothing less than divine perfection. But then, a really crucial point comes in verse 33. Amidst all this counting, one tribe is deliberately excluded. But the Levites were not numbered among the children of Israel. So why? Well, because their role was completely different. They weren't soldiers in a physical army, they were priests and caretakers in a spiritual one, set apart for the holy service of the tabernacle itself.
And the chapter concludes with this powerful summary in verse 34. The plan was given, and the people obeyed it. Perfectly. Just imagine that final breathtaking aerial shot. A nation of over 600,000 soldiers, plus all their families, arranged in a perfect four-sided camp, a living fortress built around the very presence of God. It's just a stunning image of unity, faith, and obedience.
You know, it leaves us with a final thought. This was so much more than just a logistical plan. It was an ancient blueprint for a nation on the move, a design where every single person had a place and a purpose, all centered around a common, holy core. It really makes you wonder, what is the power of that kind of perfect unity? And how might that ancient principle of order apply to our own communities, our organizations, or maybe even our own lives today?